Me.
Henry County Commission, Henry County, Missouri, Tuesday, February 18, 2025, the 14th day of the January term. All were present at 9 o'clock. Commissioner Stone brought the meeting to order. Excuse me. The agenda was approved as presented. The minutes from the Thursday, February 13, 2025 meeting were read. Commissioner Bradley made a motion to approve the minutes. Commissioner Larson seconded the motion. Motion carried. The commission discussed an email between the commission and County Attorney Ivan Schrader. Commissioner Larson shared a telephone conversation he had with Ivan. He also shared of a conversation he had with the Attorney General's office. He was told that the commission has the authority to withdraw a motion to dismiss. He also shared that Ivan understands that the commission cannot withdraw the lawsuit to rescind the Chapter 100 contract, as it is the plaintiff's lawsuit. He stated that Ivan should understand that the commission just wants to withdraw the motion to dismiss. Larson clarified that the commission wants to withdraw the motion to dismiss, discuss the lawsuit, then instruct Ivan on what to do with the suit. He stated that he thought it was clear that they just want to withdraw the motion to dismiss. There was much discussion regarding the request that was made to Ivan and his response to withdrawing the motion to dismiss. Commissioner Stone shared that the prior commission worked on the Chapter 100 agreement for 2 years. The commission wanted to get the project done as there was much work done on it. The group discussed tabling the approval of the closed session minutes. Clerk Rick recommended it be approved unless there are inaccuracies on it. After brief discussion, the closed minutes from the Tuesday, February 13, 2025 meeting were read. Commissioner Larson made a motion to approve the minutes. Commissioner Bradley seconded the motion. Motion carried. Pat Nilsson, court clerk, met with the commission on behalf of Circuit Judge Baker. The group discussed the winter storm and closing the courthouse. After discussion, the commission agreed to close the courthouse at noon and all day tomorrow due to the projected snowfall and temperatures. Commissioner Larson updated the group on the conversation he had with Sunbelt Environmental Services in Evergy. He stated that needed supplies should be received by the end of the week, and they plan on gathering samples by the end of February. He stated that the weather may play into their ability to do the testing. He stated that Henry County Emergency Management, the EPA, and the Missouri Department of Natural Resources plan to all be on site at the time the samples are taken. All will coordinate but not communicate with one another during the sampling. At 9:39, Commissioner Larson made a motion to go into closed session via statute 610-21 paragraph 3 regarding personnel matters. Commissioner Bradley seconded the motion. Motion passed with a roll call vote of yes, yes, yes. At 9:56, Commissioner Bradley made a motion to end the closed session. Commissioner Larson seconded the motion. Motion passed with a roll call vote of yes, yes, yes. Dennis Bowers, Road and Bridge Supervisor, met with the commission. He was told that the courthouse would be closing at noon today and all day tomorrow. He stated that he would make sure the parking lot and sidewalks of the courthouse and jail were cleaned off, and they did a great job, I will say. Dennis distributed bid specs for the purchase of a new tractor. The commission approved and set the bid opening for Thursday, March 6, 2025 at 10 a.m. Dennis shared that he responded to a call from Joseph Campbell regarding an abandoned road just west of Northwest 501 Road in Shawnee Township. Is that Shawnee? Yeah. Dennis shared with Joseph that the county does not have records of the road width to that road, as it is not a public road. He also stated that Joseph is going to do research with the recorder of deeds to determine if there is a document of easements on that road. Dennis believes that Joseph was satisfied with their conversation. Dennis shared that he was told that the Honey Creek Township will blade Northwest 500 Road in the township after Bonnie Tomei, I think that's how you say it, is deeded property adjacent to the road. Mark Harden, Emergency Management Director, shared that there were 16 individuals that stayed overnight at the warming center. The group discussed the senior tax fees ordinance as there was a return call request from Margaret Coleman. Commissioner Larson shared that the legislator that wrote the legislation may be able to come in and clear up any questions from the commission. Commissioner Stone shared that his concern of liability from the taxing entities of the county all agreed that they want to know and understand all about the statute before adopting it. Commissioner Bradley stated that he would contact Ms. Coleman as he had received an email from her. Mark Harden shared that the Emergency Management Office has had all its IT and computers locked up. Clerk Rick and both Commissioners Stone and Bradley stated that they had heard that Digital Computer Works was waiting on parts to finalize the upgrades. Mark shared that the EPA has not received any test results or updates from Missouri DNR. of their tests done a few weeks ago. The commission commented that they had not heard any new details either. The county payroll was approved. Mark Harden reported that well water testing done through the Henry County Health Department from the area of the former KCPL power plant had unfavorable results. At 11:05, Commissioner Stone made a motion to go into closed session via statute 610.021 paragraph 1 to discuss legal matters. Commissioner Bradley seconded the motion. The motion passed with a roll call vote of yes, yes, yes. At 11:50, Commissioner Bradley made a motion to end the closed session. Commissioner Larson seconded the motion. The motion passed with a roll call vote of yes, yes, yes. At 11:55, Commissioner Bradley made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Commissioner Larson seconded the motion. Motion carried with a roll call vote of yes, yes, yes.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
So, motion been made and seconded, accept the minutes as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Let's go down, Officer.
I thought.
Yeah, there's
Oh, we gotta do the close minutes. Has everybody had a time to read? Got to entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the closing.
Both
both of them.
Both closed, okay. Motion been made and seconded to accept both closed session minutes. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carried.
These are kind of slow. Tuesday, I don't think Tuesday would be a very big bill day either. Now, next Tuesday
Yeah.
probably will because you guys will be gone Thursday. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Tuesday will be a big day. Next Thursday, you won't have to worry about it. We won't be here.
I know.
Hey, Rick, that dinner meeting thing they got next Tuesday,
Mhm.
I'm gonna make it.
Okay.
You gotta get stuff ready to go.
I gotta get my stuff ready to go,
That's
spend a little bit
what
of time with the kids.
Something my wife said. They're planning sometime or other where you're gonna get everything ready.
Yeah.
No, it's not a big deal.
Good. What was that for again? Was that
Huh?
the
University Extension.
She can't.
university?
Oh, yeah, the University Extension.
Yeah. Say, I was trying to remember the. I was drawing a blank.
See, was you going, Mark? Okay.
Oh, you're not gonna make it either?
No.
Ah.
Oh, this is Whiteman. Did we ever do anything on it? Did we go ahead and make a motion on that? Did we do it?
I don't know if you
I
need
didn't
to.
see it in the minutes.
I can sure put it in there.
What was it? Oh, the Whiteman deal where we supported Whiteman for their deal up there. They, a lot of the local community, or local counties donate money. Anyway,
Say, I don't remember.
We didn't talk.
We didn't.
I think it
1500.
just came
I
out,
don't-
that was it.
yeah, we talked about it, but I don't think we ever voted on it. I entertained a motion to do that.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made, seconded, donate $1,500 to the WALC in Whiteman Air Force Base.
So what is the WALC?
Whiteman Area Leadership
Whiteman Area-
Council.
Okay.
Leadership Council.
Good. It's good.
If you ever get a chance, they have periodic dinners up there
Yes.
for this group that all
Yeah,
supports them.
there all of us go up.
Occasionally, they'll allow you to go into the simulator, the B2
Mhm.
simulator.
Oh, that'd be neat.
I've been
That's
through
awesome.
that.
So what,
Awesome.
the
You
money
wanna-
donated, what did they
that's-
put that money towards?
I think it's economic development. tool.
Well, it's for,
I believe.
just like one time, it was fighting to keep the B2 here. They wanted to keep them bedded down here. Now it was over the F-14s, I believe, but they're gonna be here. Part of it.
That's
Part of it.
good.
They're two different places, if I remember right, wasn't it, Rick?
Yeah, they
Here and
Texas, wasn't it?
Texas, somewhere in Texas, I think. That's
I
where
think you're right.
the main bases. So that's the reason why I would kind of support them. And But if you ever get a chance, if you've never been in, just like going to simulator, you'd love it because you go in, of course, getting in it, you want to talk about security. You strip everything, they check, make sure no billfold, no cameras, nothing there. Then you go in, they can simulate anything in the world in that simulator.
Is that so?
If they want a storm come in, it'll be just like a storm hit. And just like refueling in there and doing everything. But it's, in fact, I got to mess with it, flight some, and it was good. I got tickled. Greg, he's mayor. We usually go up with the city deal when they have something like that. But anyway, it's the mayor, of course, when we come in for landing, he wiped out all the runway lights. Go down, be waiting. But it was good about doing it. But anyway, yeah,
Sick.
if you've never been up
Have you?
there, it's really good to go.
I worked on the side of it before.
Huh?
Yeah,
Well, you'd like it.
Oh, I'd liked it. Yeah, I would like it.
we did a, back on the other side of the flight line.
Oh, yeah, you go in and then you go to the officers club, you have dinner, and then you go over to the simulator or wherever building, you go to that, and go in, certain amount got to go to the simulator, a few of us, and then a few got to go, or the others got to go to the B2 and got up in the plane and looked at the cockpit,
We painted that.
take a tour of it. Huh?
Painted.
See,
Oh yeah, for the
years,
hangar.
years ago,
Okay.
there was a contractor out of Kansas City
Okay, this is okay.
painted it,
Oh yeah.
and he didn't use the right paint. So when they start them up
They-
inside,
Yeah.
the paint fell down on top.
Oh, crap.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That, well, anyway,
They got some pretty cool stuff out there.
that's where it is.
How's that work for that amount? And it goes down to this one somewhere.
Well, damn if I know. 260. Rick?
What the deal there is, the bill
What?
had emergency management bill and
Also
commission,
got
so I split it. So there's another check there that'll equal that.
Okay.
Should be another check coming.
I bet I
through.
got it right here.
I don't know what.
One's
Usually-
coffee for the commission, the other one is
Don't be saying nothing about coffee.
something for emergency management.
Right, Jay?
Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah, I got it right here. I see.
Okay.
Everything now.
So when they get in MasterCard, Amazon where you really gotta watch it because they can get them all added up, kinda know
Oh.
general idea. But some of them are, hey, it's good because you can have a transposed number. And you think it never happened, but it can. Used to be as the bills, sheriff's.
Yeah, it's a small stack.
Hmm?
It's taking me a bit to get through here already. Yeah, I had physical therapy before this too, so she stretched me out. We're doing good. Is Aaron still planning on coming up here today?
think
I
so.
see he's on the list, but I didn't know if he'd be able to make it or not.
I haven't heard any difference.
Okay.
Who?
Sheriff.
Oh, yeah, there.
Hopefully they wasn't too busy during this Arctic blast.
Yeah.
That'd be awful having to work an accident out in there.
Oh, man. Those guys better get out of there with a different hat on. And ears freeze.
Man. Yeah.
Maybe a month before all them piles freeze or thaw out.
That's gonna be, I just tell them, that's the problem when you push it all up on the side, especially in town. You got that, you can't get them melted.
Yeah.
Because really, the only way to melt is push them out the street. They didn't even get rid of the water.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
At least we can still put them in piles and we'll have to haul it off.
Yeah,
That'd be the
well,
best way.
all they'd have to do is take a tractor load and run down along the sidewalk or the street. And just load it up. That's the way it's gotta be done. That's, I mean, I was telling them years ago, that's what we done. Remember the county and the city got together and worked one night cleaning the whole square out, didn't they?
Sorry?
Put it in the grass.
Constant.
Huh?
Would
Put
be
it
a
in the
fun
grass. Put it in the grass.
Just take it out before, dump it. Hey, that'll be good. It's good fertilizer. A lot of nitrogen in that.
Something we haven't had in a while.
No,
That's
we
no
haven't.
get some nitrogen. in it.
I'm not. Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Pull up that email to see. 'Cause it's got a schedule
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
for us.
I couldn't remember. I thought it said you had to check in by 10.
It may be.
Nothing started till later, but. And I may have read it wrong too.
Clock hours for training begin at 2 p.m. Wednesday.
2 p.m., that's what I thought. What time you check in?
Between 10 to 2.
Yeah, you can start checking in anytime, but
Okay.
see, you have to, you wanna make sure you go up to the desk,
Check in.
you sign your name, you say you're from Henry County, our names will be there, and then they'll look at your deal, your ID, and then they'll say you're checked in.
We'll be back kind of like this was at the last place where they're the last one.
Yeah.
Walk in the same doors, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Same
down 10.
Yeah.
Go in the same door and you go left down the hall usually. That's where they have it set. And then your check-in place, they'll have a place for, and then they got a time or a clock sitting right on their desk. And they put down the minutes you come in and check in. Just to make sure you're there.
Don't want to make sure you're not late.
Well, I know, just make sure you stay. And then you'll check in then usually.
Check in the next day too.
Yes, and then that afternoon that next day.
The
So-
different sessions.
Yes, because, hey, well, I hate to say it, it was caused by
It's your fault, isn't it, Jim?
earlier commissioners in Henry County. They caused it. They used to go check in and then come back and didn't worry about it. Then they go back down, then you have to, all three of us have to be together, go up and collect,
Sure.
collect our certificates.
How are you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you today?
Good.
Good morning, Mike. How are you? Ready? Good. How are you?
You're very good.
Good. Good.
I want the other one.
You have it.
I want the wrong one.
That's what you get for the last time.
Out of the way. Deal. How's it going?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
I figure we're even now.
You bet. You bet.
Got fancy.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Those are really classy. That's
right. The lack of a party, she's pulling in. Jackie had a hard time getting her vehicle started this morning, so
Oh, shit.
just to tap it behind on her end.
Did you guys have any emergencies over this cold snap? Ever you was outside?
Yeah, no, not really.
That's good.
Yeah, just a typical motor vehicle accident.
Wasn't that many people off the ditch, was it? Of course, I don't think that many people driving.
Mhm. I think we actually had more accidents yesterday when it was starting to thaw.
Yes,
The
that's,
slush kinda
it got
slid
slick
people.
there for a while.
Yeah.
We had
I
more
know it-
accidents then.
I noticed if he's going down, you better have some weight on back of the tractor, it's slick.
Most of them were actually in Clinton on South Second, and some
Yeah.
of the pole.
No.
And the slush would grab you and throw you back on the.
Can you imagine trying to fight a fire in this mess?
6.
And what would keep that water from freezing?
Did you see up there at Sedalia that the water main blew up there by Jaegers?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the 50 highway is like a pool.
Did you see Detroit? They had a 54-inch
Yeah.
water main break
Oh,
and then froze.
Oh,
There's
wow.
cars,
Goodness.
water up to the top of their tires,
oh, gosh.
and it froze.
Tapatio and Sedalia posted a video too. The
Did it?
water was all the way over.
Yeah, it was right around that same area. It was hard to see. I couldn't tell how full it was, but
There was no vehicles driving through it.
No,
They're stopped on both sides. So.
yeah.
Being happy when we get through.
Yeah.
yeah.
Come on, weekend.
Yeah. Looks like Monday will be all right.
Yeah,
But,
Hopefully this is it for the winter. I hope.
well, does he, and he's got the furthest to come, doesn't he?
Do what?
We had training this morning, so he's
Oh.
2 minutes early.
Oh, really? Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And Jackie stopped by the bathroom. She made it up finally. So.
Good morning.
Morning.
What is it?
That's done well,
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yep.
seriously.
I'm trying.
Rich, you got any extra copies?
I do not.
We don't either. All right, well, as soon as we get a website, it'll be on there, but we don't have a website yet. It will be on Facebook. Work in progress.
Good morning.
All right, the whole team's here.
Okay, all right.
All right, we'll get started.
Start.
So, our thought on the sheriff's office, as we move forward, we were trying to be a little bit more open and transparent. So this is our way of trying to do that, and also share the inner workings of the sheriff's office and kind of what we do and some numbers and stats and just where we're headed, where we're going, and where we're at the sheriff's office. So that's kind of the gist of this January edition. Most of this is all January stuff and January numbers, and then February we'll do the same, and then we'll kind of have some statistics to compare as we move forward too. So we're working, and it talks about here that in our IT section, we're working on a website / app. We're not sure which way this is going to go yet, but we currently don't have a website. The hcsomo.com is no longer active, hasn't been. So as soon as we get that going, these things will be posted on there as soon as we present them and kind of go from there. So
Yeah.
we're looking towards probably the 15th of the month. We'll come back up here every month and kind of give you the month before and any questions or answers you guys may have as well. So this kind of just gives you our vision and mission from the sheriff's office, and then the January, page 5, there's a January in review. a little bit about the county, the square footage of the residents, and then our calls for service. So we had just over 1,000 calls for service, and 385 of those calls were within our city contracts. So as you know, we have 5 contracts: Montrose, Deepwater, Uric, Windsor, Calhoun, and we have one with Brownington contract with them as well that we're still working on, but should be signed here shortly. So, for the month of January, we had 89 incident reports, and you'll see in the investigation side about 13, I think, of those made it over to the investigation side for additional follow-ups and leads. So we do publish our weekly arrest reports on Fridays, but for the month we've had a total of 30. So we try not to give too much caveat to those. We're a little bit different than what we used to be. Usually people would post like a full-on arrest report with the incident narrative and photos, and kind of our viewpoint is we don't like to highlight the worst times in people's lives per se, but it's public knowledge, and arrests are public knowledge as well. So we still publish those out there, but you see that we don't really publish photos, and we don't publish a full-on biograph of the incident, what happened. So we try to lend credence to other things that we do. So for the month, we had 135 traffic stops in total. Captain Hills will go over some of those numbers broke down too, as in some grant funding that we do. And then our courthouse visitors. So this is kind of new for us for our courthouse downstairs. We can see how many people come and go from the courthouse. That number is just for January. Obviously that has gone down. December, November was pretty high as well because people paying taxes and, towards December. In our jury trials, when we have those, the daily population is pretty drastic. So, but it is kind of neat to see how many people do come and go from our courthouse. I don't think a lot of people realize how busy the courthouse is. But. And then Jackie will talk about our detention center, but our daily average population for January was 96. We can hold about 119. And our total bookings were about 78. So she'll talk about that, but our population has gone up. Our local population has, which is a positive and negative. It's good because we have more cases flowing freely from our office to the prosecutor's office. They're filed pretty quickly. And 9 times out of 10, we get 24-hour holds filed, and we get arrest warrants really quickly after that too. So what that means is people are staying in our jail right out of the onset, which makes our daily population go up, which means our contracts go down. So a little less income coming in, but our cases are moving pretty fast. So of course that's our team there, and Captain Gilbert will talk a little bit about our moments that matter in our operations.
Moments that matter, we were pretty excited. We got to participate in the Recovery Court Dodgeball Tournament, which had teams with like the Ministry Alliance, and then Recovery Court, Prosecutor, Courthouse, Clinton PD, us, Golden Valley had a team, and it was just a time to get together and raise some money and then have a lot of fun. It was a really good turnout, really good success. As a matter of fact, one of the people had commented on it. It says it was great, and I enjoyed every bit of it. Coming from a town where they lack support of addicts like me, to finally ending up somewhere when I'm supported and treated like a human being. I feel so fortunate to be involved in the community. Thank you all for your support and hard work. So obviously, it's touching for a lot of people, and then it just builds that community strength all around from top to bottom. So that's a really neat thing. Also, we had the donut with the deputy. The first one was there at the sheriff's office. Had a really good turnout. Family, people came in, visited with us. It was a really good time. Enjoyed that. We partnered with Blue Ribbon Bakery, which is a local business here. So kind of getting there out there too, and just having that partnership was really nice. And it's just nice to have everybody be able to come in and kind of see the sheriff's office, meet us on a different level than just day-to-day business. We also have another one scheduled for this month over in Windsor at Judy's Kitchen. I believe that's next Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning from 8 to 10. Partnered with them over at Judy, so we're excited for that. Obviously, the sheriff being sworn in is a huge moment, so that was exciting, and excited to get that started and start moving forward with things. And then 35 years of service with Captain Hills. been here forever. He's a great asset. We love having him, so. The SRO program, I can get into that, or Captain Hills, if you want to talk about that, that's up to you.
Certainly. So we, Deputy Nick Caldwell is currently assigned as a school resource officer for the Davis R12 School District. That is done contractually through the school district and through the sheriff's office. They had approached the sheriff's office and asked for to have a school resource officer within their school district. They had some particular reasons, felt that it would be a great asset for them. We went through some negotiations, and luckily, whenever we opened the position up, Deputy Caldwell went to Davis R12, and he jumped all over that, wanted to be a part of this program as it was branching out, and I'll talk about that here in just a second as well, because between the Henry R1 School District in Windsor and the City of Windsor, we're looking to contractually again place a school resource officer within back within the Windsor School District as well. So. But it was great because Deputy Caldwell already, had firsthand knowledge of the administrators that was there. Some of the folks that taught him are still there. Firsthand knowledge of the building, so it was so training was minimized because he had that knowledge or such. But just. Coverage of having somebody within the building is great. Building those bonds with the students. I mean, they opened up to him, a day or two into it, was involving him within classroom, wanting him to come in and read to him, wanting him, to participate in PE with them, different stuff. So, that's a great, public relations tool for us. Just building those bonds, seeing the positive aspect of law enforcement firsthand, working with the kids, but then also working with the administrators as well, just to bring that safety and security in to their district. And as they transitioned and have moved to the Bible Baptist Church here on Ohio Street, he transitioned with them, went with them, and is still acting in that capacity. So it seems to have been a smooth transition for everybody. Like we said, we've approached the City of Windsor and Henry R1 School District after they had initially talked to us about having a school resource officer in their district. We approached them with contracts. Henry R1 has approved the contract. We were going to talk with the City of Windsor. However, with the weather, they moved their Board of Aldermen meeting to next week. And they're kind of the third piece in this wheel contractually to get a school resource officer back within the Windsor School District. So looking forward to that. Deputy Cameron Evans, who graduated from Henry R1, has stepped up and has been placed within that role. Once we get the contract going and get him moved into there, once again, he's going to be a great fit. Just having both of these guys as alumni members of these schools, and then being able to place them in not only just for the community but for safety, but also they have a heartfelt investment in those school districts and wanting to serve those school districts. So we're looking forward to this program and hopefully expanding it in future years to get school resource officers covering all our school districts within the county.
Also, we've all seen it, the K9 Tahoe's out and about now and going. It's really nice. We're excited to get that out on the road. For sure Logan loves it. So we also had some promotions. Seth England, where he was promoted to corporal, and then I'll let Captain Watson talk about the other two promotions. On the operations side, you can see kind of the numbers in there with the contacts inside of our contracts and contacts out in the the rural areas. I mean, we stay pretty busy on both sides. So if you like, can see the graph on from the CAD stats calls for service that we're up over 1,000. I think we're the only ones that from those call stats that's actually broke 1,000 in the month of January. Some of the other exciting things that we got going on there is we just have 2 of our guys completed field training, so they're out on the road now, and we still got 2 more that are hopefully about a month out, so you'll start seeing that manpower, more cars out and about, and the should rise. It's pretty exciting to have this many deputies out and about. It's great for safety, it's great for the community, it's great for presence, deterrence. It's a good thing. We're really excited with getting everybody out of field training to where we can really start amping up some of these saturations, more traffic saturations, hopefully start getting into some of the narcotics and like warrant saturations and things like that, and really kind of start amping up that proactivity that the sheriff and I have always been really excited about. So I would say that Sergeant Richardson here in the courthouse, you all have seen him and where the uniforms are going. That's kind of a way for everybody able to get to see that since everybody comes to the courthouse. We're really excited about that. We really like the new look. The bailiff's cars are striped out here with the new striping. I think everybody's probably been able to see those out here. We're really excited about that. Really like the way that looks as well. A lot of new equipment come in and things continually come in to just kind of take care of the guys. So it's kind of nice to be able to get back into the staff with equipment and just being able to have backup and people to be out there on the road with them. It's a sense of security and safety for them as well. So pretty excited about those things. We also have the traffic grant, which Captain Hills will be able to talk about that. He's kind of in charge of that.
We've had, I think we're going on about 15 years now through the Division of Highway Safety, which is Department of MoDOT. They put out traffic grants every year. They get federal dollars that get funneled into the state for special overtime operations to go out and different programs, different types of enforcement. The enforcement that we've chosen over the number of years has been hazardous moving violations, which also include DWI enforcement and such. So happy to say that they have granted us overtime funding of $40,000 for the coming year. And keep in mind their year. How they do that grant's different. It goes from October to September, and so that's where the grant cycle is. So we go out and open it up to deputies when they're off duty to come in and go out. Of course, Missouri, particularly right after COVID, our number of roadway fatalities has been up over 1,000 deaths on the roadway for several years. So they've realized that Highway Patrol can't do this on their own. So they ask other law enforcement agencies with the overtime money to go out and help. Let's remind folks to slow down. Let's target those hazardous moving violations, which cause the majority of our injury and fatality accidents, and start bringing those numbers back down. And looks like we've made some progress because our numbers are after last year have started to come back down. It's just nice because you can see we had 41 traffic stops, 26.5 hours. Was overtime money that come from MoDOT. Didn't cost the county anything other than fuel used for the cars and maintenance on the cars or such. But it gets us out there in those main times, holiday weekends, but particularly during our school zones. Mornings and afternoons, whenever we have folks that maybe are late to work or just not paying attention, traveling through here, and seeing the patrol car and presence of officers help to reduce the number of hopefully the number of traffic violations within those school zones, particularly where you have kids that are pedestrians that are crossing back and forth in the crosswalks and such. So. I would make a quick request for Tuesday's meeting coming up next week. We're getting ready grant cycle for the next grant cycle, and would like to be placed on the agenda to come up and talk to you all about that, get your all's approval to be able to apply for this grant again next Tuesday.
10 o'clock.
Like I said,
10 o'clock work all right?
yeah, if I can be fine here. So, thank you. But yeah, no, we absolutely love this program. The guys love this program. It's just a great way for us to the presence and reminders of folks to slow down and drive safely. It affects all of us. So.
Did you say that grant was Division of Public Safety?
Division of Highway Safety.
Highway Safety.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. They're a branch of MoDOT itself.
I'll go check my emails.
Okay, good morning.
Well, no one said you're, I'm just sitting here being quiet, which is odd for me.
Well, you're in the batter's box.
Oh, well,
Put your
nobody
seatbelt
said
on.
that. So from the corrections point of view, yes, we had a couple of promotions in January. We had promoted a jail operations sergeant back in the fall, Danny Thompson. And with promotion of Mr. Owsley and Mr. Hinkle to corporal, we've got a complete command staff. We've been enjoying the fruits of that. You have better lines of communication. Everybody knows their place and is now working in a better, more cohesive team. We have some challenges, and they're the challenges of just jailing statewide. I'd say our two top challenges are the medical challenges of the people that we house and the sheer number of people that we're housing. Now with medical challenges, we have to sit hospital bedside from time to time. We just got done sitting bedside for a month, 24/7. Puts a strain on overtime, puts a strain on officers, puts a strain on staffing. For that, though, I have to be grateful to you guys, because last year, this year, moving forward, y'all have been very wonderful to us. We are incredibly well-staffed. I cannot be grateful enough for that. I cannot say thank you enough for that. And we have good staff. We are fully staffed at the moment. To be able to handle this and sit bedside for someone at the hospital, because it was needed, and have, I had the flu, my car broke down. No, I just can't tell you how grateful I am for the staffing that you guys afford us. It is vital to taking care of our inmates. The biggest challenge, besides those medical challenges that we have for our inmates, is that we are a 119 bunk facility. As of Tuesday, I was not into work yesterday because I couldn't get out of my house. We were at about 106. So 96 for the February report you're looking at, but we're at 104 to 106, last I checked. And that's just growing numbers. That's the reasons that are described that at the FTAs after the holidays and just arrests. Mathematical decisions are being made. You know, when we house Pettis County, they bring in $10,000 to $12,000 a month in revenue. I had to send Pettis County home. And bless their hearts, I sent them an email at 8 in the morning and they were gone by 2 in the afternoon. They were very good to us. Platte County is still there. They generate about $10,000 to $12,000 a month in revenue for the jail. I may have to send them home by the end of today, because we're just bursting at the seams. In a 119 bunk facility, you're effectively about 108, 109. By the time you account for, I can't put 2 people in that cell. That person needs a single cell for any number of reasons. But things move along. Whether rain, sleet, snow, dark, and night, we're the next best thing to the post office. We just keep going.
Thank you, Jackie.
Very
Thank you,
good.
Rob. Okay.
So criminal investigations. It is comprised of myself along with 2 other detectives, Detective Schwartz and Detective Stutzman. Our office handles a variety of cases that come from the patrol side, not alone of fraud to child cases to stealings, motor vehicles, pretty much anything that you can think of. Our office does handle it. Sometimes it does stay on the patrol side where they can handle the majority of the stuff out in the county. But most of the time, once once a suspect or perpetrator that resides out of county, it gets forwarded to our office where our guys have the capabilities of not being on a call-to-call basis here in town, where they can leave the county and hopefully make contact with these individuals. Out of it in January, we did get 13 new active investigations from the patrol staff, let alone from 2024 and on. Their caseload for 3 of us is substantial. It's a lot. There is a lot of cases that roll through Henry County, a lot that people don't realize. But we are managing pretty well, I believe. They try to kick it out pretty quick, and especially the new realm of how everything's rolling through. We kind of try to get these cases investigated as quick as possible, but efficiently, so we can at least move on to our next one and not have one where we investigate and sit for a little bit and get off to the side, investigate another one, and hopefully come back to this one. We're trying to get that to stop at that point where we can fully investigate something, get a probable cause statement, and get it sent up to the prosecuting attorney's office in a timely manner, which I will say this, since Sheriff Brown has taken over, our amount of reports that get sent out of my office, and when I say out of my office, all probable cause statements that are typed not only by our detectives, but by our patrol staff, it comes through my office. I approve them, disapprove them, or send them back. But the sheer amount of probable cause statements that we actually send into the prosecuting attorney's office, actually I just approved 14 new cases, and that's of 25 of January of 2025. I approved 14 cases to be sent to our prosecuting attorney's office. So that's awesome, because it used to be we not used to see that for a good time. So we're getting that realm of getting everything in and getting everything sent up here. Let alone with our cases that we currently have here, we are now part of a task force for child exploitation. And that's comprised of us, Bates County, Cass County, and an additional couple other counties that are involved in that, which those investigations take a toll on an individual. And it's not one of those cases that are, shut the door pretty quick. We got enough stuff. These cases require a lot of subpoenas, search warrants, and let alone, watching anything that is, obtained through that stuff. So we just took on to that, which I am actually currently doing 3 reports of those, set aside from our own cases that we do have here. So which that be a part of that task force, through our office, and especially my guys, we're pretty excited about, because it's one of those things that needs to be done, and taken on, and not set just for one entity of, highway patrol or some other, police agency to take control of that, and just forward it over to us, and hopefully we get to it. No, we're going to be on these pretty quick. Out of it, there is talks of, hopefully sometime down the road to expand our office, which is much needed. And not only, from our current cases, but the narcotics. The narcotics is a big one. We try to handle it as much as possible, but we're only 3 people. That's the biggest thing is, for a small county as we are, the sheer amount of reports that we receive, we are somewhat of a large county, the amount of reports that we get, and so little detectives. But I will praise our guys that not only on the patrol side, but in my office, because they do work tirelessly and every day they come in and they have a stack to do. You know, Schwartz, he's busy. He takes his time investigating stuff, but it's thorough. You know, Stutzman, I praised him. The amount of sheer subpoenas that man has typed since he's been hired again is unreal. I can tell you the sheer amount of subpoenas probably are upwards of 100. You know, everything that is done through my office, even on the patrol side, will help him at any point. You know, call outs. Search warrants are the biggest things, and we're gonna hopefully get some training in for the patrol staff to let them learn how to type those search warrants instead of me doing it. Is if I'm not here, then it's one of these two, or you know, Captain Hills to be like, hey, this is how you type one. So hopefully we can get that sent out. But everything through our office, it's running a lot smoother now since we have those capabilities of getting the wheels in motion, getting us involved into a case a lot quicker than what it used to be. So
Good, good. Well, good.
Like you say,
Very
the
good.
numbers that we're already at now and the amount of work that our guys are already putting in, and we haven't even started what we like to do on the narcotics and the proactivity, and that's just gonna up a lot of that. So we're
Yes.
really hoping to be able to expand that, get a narcotics detective in here and help out a lot with that type of things, because we're definitely gonna amp that up. That's what we really enjoy, and it's much needed.
it is much needed.
So, court security, and you guys see them every day there. So we talked about the new uniform look that's coming. Once we get all that together, that's going to be great. Striping on the cars here. Obviously, like I said, 3,625 visitors in January for the 3 of them there. Those guys are always busy, you know, dealing with court gatherings, arrests, trying to get people transported here and there, video court. A very, very busy group, but they do a great job. Here, very, very few complaints ever, even with the security downstairs. I think everybody's kind of got used to that now. We really don't get too much trouble over that. In January, there was 146 scheduled hearings here, 15 arraignments, 11 in person, 87 by video, 5 arrests were made by our bailiffs here at the courthouse, and I had 1 jury trial. So these guys are very busy. They do a great job. Can't say enough about how well they help this whole courthouse move and shake and go. So I'm really happy with that. And, I don't think we're going to have any problems continuing that type of success. So
That's good. That's real good.
We wanted to add a little bit in here about our behind the scenes, the technology of the sheriff's office. It's a large endeavor when it comes to our IT, and we say that we're going to start diving a little bit more into our body cameras. We have a vendor that we've used for several years. With a lot of our things, they want us to go digital. We have our own servers on site for many reasons, but our current vendor, they do not support that nor like that, which means that they want us to move to the cloud. So that's why we wanted to talk about that today. We're going to probably put out an RFP here soon, visit with you guys about that later on, but to start diving down that realm of body cameras. Very important to us, just for transparency reasons alone, but criminal prosecution wise as well. But just for our IT, just the amount of stuff that we have to do, but the radios, our terminals, our digital case files, evidence tracking, our RMS system, our reporting system, our security cameras, the biometrics, the bookings, and then just all of our data alone. It's a big endeavor. We planned on talking about this anyway, and then over the weekend we had an issue in our server room where one of our outlets fried, which also fried 3 of our computers in our server room. So we'll be coming up talking about that as well. So we've had a little bit of an issue with that. It was dealt with very quickly. Our IT jumped online, realized that this isn't something to fix over the internet, so they responded within about 10-15 minutes. Realized that, bypassed it, got us right back online real fast. But now we have to clean it up. So we have to purchase about 3 new computers, and working with our courthouse staff to come over and help fix that outlet and get all that back up to snuff. So We've come a long ways already within 6 months, uniforms and equipment for our staff. So that was what we've always said to everybody, what's your priority? It's our staff. You guys will see 90% of our budget is salaries because that's who runs the organization is our people. So we're taking care of our people first. Secondly, we need this. Our computers in our cars, our laptops, just laptops you and I have at home, we put those in our cars so they take a beating. There's a lot of our stuff, our actual computers in our offices are about as old as the building, so they're starting to cycle out. The bad thing is we bought all those at one time, and they're gonna cycle out at one time, and it's happening, so we've replaced about 5 so far, and we replaced the 2 in Windsor. They went out at the same time last week. They're done, so we're starting this process of our data stuff, so it comes with hefty price figures as well.
How many more computers you got to replace, Aaron?
Computers? Well, we have, 18 staff, 19 now, road deputies? Yeah, around 19 road deputies. I'd say about 5 of those are good computers. Our digital computer works went through our laptops. We had a pile of them when I first started. They went through them all. Any older computers trying to get Windows 11 to upload to it, you can't on an older computer. We were able to save about 5 or 6 of them. When I say save them, we were able to upload Windows 11. They're just, they're still gonna be really slow. So.
That speed on Windows 11 or about.
Yeah, so we're making it do. They make it do out on the road, and it's nothing that they haven't been doing for years. It is what it is. We replace them in the office as they go out. So literally the first week I started, mine went out, and we had to transition from Kent's to mine, and then his went out the week he started. So I don't know if it was an omen or what, but we're good now.
Over
A lot of people just don't see the behind the scenes stuff that just makes the sheriff's office roll. Before I came on, we redid the camera system upgrade.
I think it was in 21, or I can't recall, it was 21 or 22, we upgraded the camera system throughout the jail, plus the door, security system, key fobs that used to get in and out of the building.
Remember how much that was?
That grand total was in the neighborhood of 340.
Yeah.
It's a massive, this is great, because that's a large system that is done, it's updated, our camera system is top notch, it's really nice.
We have good
And-
IT
and then
support
did
with
you-
them, we paid for a plan to support that,
Yeah.
The plan they always sell you when you buy something at Walmart, this one's good. We did a grant last year and replaced 5 desktops in the jail, along with some other stuff, so.
Good. No, we're chugging along real nicely. The jail is, our whole sheriff's office is great. We have a great building, and we're just updating some of the stuff as we go. So Kent was actually able to get a grant last year, the ARPA grant for jails, and got a lot of equipment updated in the jail. And we're gonna hope, the ARPA grant's done, but we're gonna hope to get some more grants to help with just this. So that's why we wanna talk about it, is we're gonna start diving into that here soon, but hopefully we'll get grants to help mitigate that, because just like it's a huge price endeavor. We're getting there, so. Hopefully here soon, we've been working on it since we've come on board. We're trying to get our website updated, and we have an app that we're trying to see if we want to go with a certain company or not. We're kind of treading waters with it. So the idea is, and there's several of them out there now, sheriff's offices that use it, that you can go to the App Store and download an app, and we can direct communicate with people who have it. We can send direct notifications to it, or our press releases, or our arrest reports. The idea is just go right online to the website or this app, and you can look at it live, as well as our updates. So currently all we have is Facebook. Works great, but not everybody has it. More than one means of communication would be amazing. So it's kind of what we're after moving forward. We're working on our policies and procedures that are obviously outdated. And our overall goal would be to get our policies and procedures online as well. A lot of that stuff we're hoping to get digitalized and published. That way it's just ease of access. Anybody can go look at it and review it. So.
That'll be good.
Yes. Any general questions?
No, very good.
Got very busy.
Yeah, we tried to. Yes.
Appreciate it.
As like Jackie said, our productivity shows. Our jail numbers have gone up. When I started, I think our ADP for our internal inmates, inter-county inmates were about 60-ish. So we've gone up drastically, and it's a two-pronged thing. We're more active, we're getting them over to the prosecutor's office, and the prosecutor's office is filing them pretty fast, and the process is moving
They're moving
fast.
too. That's the big thing.
The bad thing is, our numbers were that high, so we're gonna have to tread lightly on being really, really proactive. Because I don't know that we have room.
That's sad.
It's worth noting that right now, with a census of about 95, no, we've gone to about 102, 105. 7 of those individuals are currently awaiting a bed with Division of Mental Health. That's gonna constitute about 7% or so of your entire jail populace are just sitting there languishing in our, they're not languishing, but they are waiting. And we care for them until they finally get a bed with Division of Mental Health. One in particular pops to mind, and he is still number 47 on the list. There are 46 people ahead of him waiting for a bed at the facility that he would go to, which would be Fulton.
It's a statewide issue.
That is.
Every
It's
jail
not
in the
good.
state of Missouri is struggling with
Yeah.
this, and they've all, there's 3 or 4 different trains of thought on how we could deal with this, and I just don't know which one of them is correct or feasible. But the struggle is real.
What she alluded on earlier is it takes a toll on our staff, and we had to sit bedside for a month in a hospital, and that's just not local. We spent a couple of weeks up in Kansas City Hospital, which is our staff members driving back and forth. But 7.5% of our jail population is just that, and they are just sitting here. And they sit here for quite a while before they can even get a bed. These are people that belong in DMH, Department of Mental Health, so they have cognitive issues usually, which requires additional care and strain on our staff, so.
We've had one in particular that's been waiting a bed for over a year.
Really? That's,
It's not a good thing. And again, it's statewide, we've talked to people, but we're just one of 115 others, so we just wait in line. Yeah. Awesome,
okay.
yeah, well, we appreciate you guys.
Hey,
Thank
thank
you
you
all
very
for
much
doing
for coming in. Give us that.
You can be around on Friday?
Yeah.
Courthouse or jail?
Uh-huh.
Jenny's needing to come talk to you about the Alzheimer's training thing that they got going on over there for their department.
Yep, we'll be done.
Okay, goodbye.
Cool, well, anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yep.
Okay. Brad, you stay warm back here?
No, High County.
Yeah, that's.
Forget my hat there, but my golly, I'm warm.
Well, come on up. You're next on the agenda. We'll get-
I'll take it off, so
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
look like a citizen again.
I tell you what, this kind of weather, those are nice.
I'm telling you, I never had one until she got me one a couple years ago, and now I'm so.
When they got there.
When it gets real cold,
Yeah.
that's why I always,
Yeah.
it's just, especially when you're out all the
That's,
time.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna take too long.
Okay.
Half the room knows me and half doesn't, so I'll do a quick introduction. I live on the south side. I've never got a chance to talk to Jake, and Mark and I have had very little conversation. But of course, I know Jim and Kelly, so. The only reason I want to introduce myself a little bit is because some of the things I say, I want to make sure that, I'm not just a crazy guy off the street. I do have a little bit of experience, and that's why I'm coming today. My reason for visiting is because I've always been big on if you have a complaint and you're going to sit around and complain about things, you better try to do something about it, or you really ain't got no business talking to anybody. So that's what I'm doing here today. I was born here in Clinton. I've got 15 years of public safety experience, and 12 years of that I've been a government employee everywhere from line level to administrative. I've served on elected boards here locally for the past 5 years. I'm also a 4th generation farmer, and I've got roots to this area traced back to the turn of the century. So this is my home, and I love it. The principal thing that I want to address, I watched the video of the meeting last week, which is, I had mixed views on that when they said they were going to video all the meetings, but I've actually come to kind of like it because if I'm sitting at home and it's -10, I don't want to go outside.
I can keep up with what's going on, so that's kind of nice. But what I saw last week was a little bit disappointing, I thought. It was very uncontrolled, and I'm talking specifically on the 13th. Tempers came close to boiling over, and I was just waiting for chairs and cups to go flying. It was disappointing because that's what I would expect from a unit of government that has no sense of professionalism. Maybe in Jackson County, where the legislators are suing the executive and there's always something going on, people are always fighting with each other, or at the federal level in DC. But that's not what we have here. We're in Henry County. We're all neighbors at the end of the day, even if we don't agree with each other. And Jim will tell you, I'm all about being passionate. Him and I butted heads.
Yep.
We still have some unresolved stuff. But, passion's great because it keeps our elected officials in these positions from being stagnant. And I think that's important. That's what I want to see, but I don't want to see it quite to that level. My suggestion, and some of it I'm not sure, so I'm open for opinions or thoughts, or maybe you've already looked into it, but I really would like to see some kind of a guideline, or what I would call an SOP, standard operating procedure, on how the commission is supposed to conduct meetings and themselves. First thing that comes to mind is the Robert's Rules of Order. It's a very old system that I knew about it, but I didn't know the background, so I started researching it. It was an Army general who came to San Francisco back in the mid-1800s and saw how out of control these meetings were, and he started writing down some guidelines, and that's where it got its start. But anyway, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the commission has any SOPs or guidelines or anything like that. And I think that would be really, go ahead, is that true?
That's right.
Okay.
We're trying to, right now, some of the things that's taking place, I've even changed. I used to be on a parliamentary procedure
Right.
back when I was in school, but that's been several years ago, and I've already got a new set coming,
Yeah.
and I am gonna initiate it. If we're not on the agenda, I'm gonna start following rules. I hate to say it, but years ago, I was worshipful master, and I got my gavel, and I'm gonna do it a little bit more. It never will get like it was, or there won't be anybody in the room except us. 'Cause I will
I
clear it out.
appreciate that. It sounds like you're already on what I was
That
thinking.
bothered me worse than anybody.
No,
'Cause it's my call.
I've always loved the fact that county government, you've been able to just come up here and sit and visit. And,
Yeah, but you
chew
can't
the
do
fat,
that
but
anymore.
It's changed.
Yep.
Things have
You
changed.
gotta be on the agenda or don't speak.
So, anyway, that was mostly what sounds like you're already on board with that, so I do appreciate that. I would also suggest that anything that y'all put in writing, that it gets, and I'll side note this, that it gets reviewed by council to make sure it fits with RSMO and everything else.
Yes.
Now, I know there's an issue with council. I've known Ivan for a long time. I had to deal with him when I was an FOP, trying to deal with that stuff. Opinions are what they are. He's not my favorite either. If y'all don't like him, get an attorney. But right now, he's our attorney. And I think it's important as elected officials that even though you're on one side or the other of an issue, you're all representing 22,000 people, or half and half, but we're small enough. I figure y'all just represent everybody.
Nobody trying to do
I
that.
certainly don't want, attorneys, they charge $500 an hour. I don't want to foot the bill off of just spitting at each other, for the most nice way I can put it. So I would just encourage the new commissioners also, and I'll save that. So last paragraph. The other thing I observed I really didn't like is people were getting really hard on Rick, and Rick and I aren't friends, but I know Rick. So I'm not here to, I'm not here at his gesture or anything, but he's gotten the short end of the stick a lot. I've seen publicly, and I will tell you that from working here and also being a citizen here, that there are people in county government here that have a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of information, and Rick is one of those. In fact, his whole office is,
That's right.
to be real honest. And, I'm really bad about being a little too aggressive and telling people how to do their jobs, and I ain't trying to do that, but I would encourage, especially the new commissioners, to find folks in county government that have been around and just sit down and visit with them. And there's a wealth of knowledge, and there's reasons why things happen the way they do, and not everything's a conspiracy. Sometimes it's just trying to figure out how things work. On the flip side of that, we have issues. We have issues in this county, and I know that. I just don't want to see it get to where it did last week.
No.
I just don't think it's going to be good for anything, so. Glad y'all are here. Welcome, but just surround yourself with good folks, folks that know, folks that have been around, and listen to what they have to say and then determine from there if it's legitimate or not. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of folks in this building that are really good people, and they're here for the right reasons, and it ain't for the pay. So
Agreed.
that's all I have, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for
Well
coming.
said. Thanks.
Appreciate that. Okay. Mark? No, I'll put you. Okay, Dennis?
Ain't been doing much the last few days, been a little too cold, it's a little snowy. But we did get the parking lot cleared off
Did good.
and the sidewalks.
By the way, you done a wonderful job.
I'll pass that on to the guys because I made them do
They
it.
really, I know that.
I followed them up here and made sure they made it to the job because driving that Bobcat up here sometimes takes a few minutes. But I'll pass that on to them. I'm having to redo the paperwork on Northeast 100 Bridge for the soft match credit. They told me it was the Southwest 701 bridge in Bear Creek, but it ended up being, after I got it all done and everything, the Northeast 100 bridge in Bethlehem. So whenever I get that paperwork done, it's a soft match credit, and it's going to be roughly around $95,000 to $100,000. When I get it done, Jim's going to have to sign it. Do you guys want me to wait and bring it back to the commission and have you guys look it all over before I submit it, or can I take it to Jim and have him sign it and send it off?
I'm good with that.
Now, we definitely need the credit if we can get it. And
So I mean, it's been approved
I
for
knew
the
that.
credit and everything, and we've done the process on. But now they're wanting. I gotta send it back to the engineer because she didn't list the materials used on the job on the blueprints.
Yeah.
Is basically what it boils down to.
So it's gotta be redone.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. I don't think
I
there's
gotta-
any need to go back through it.
You know, it's a bridge that was
I don't
done
think we
last
need
year,
mercy on
so.
that, do we?
No, it just sounds
Whenever I
like a
get it
change.
done,
Just
then I'll
redo
just take it. Now, when I get 1501 bridge done, whenever we get the concrete done on it, I'll bring that soft match credit stuff in and go over it with you guys. Because that way you guys know exactly what went on that bridge. But this is a bridge that we done almost a year ago that we're still trying to get credit on. Actually, we got 3 bridges out there that we're still trying to get credit on. So, that's the main thing I needed to know. I sent the bid specs for the tractor to 4 different locations that I know deals with them tractors, which is Heritage, Ag Power, New Holland, and S&H. So I knew those 4 people, so I sent the bid specs out for the tractor to those 4 places. And Rick and Kelly was making sure that it gets in next week's paper. So we should be able to still open those bids on the 6th. So
Should we send one to Cooks, because they see that last time, that's how we got, they.
I can hand deliver it.
Well,
out
that's
there, 'cause I don't have an email.
The way they got one or not, you know, they get some at real low hours. They
So, I
come
mean,
through.
I can take
A lot
one
of
out there to them and just
I
in
think they
case.
get at least,
That way, if they don't see it in the paper,
Yeah.
at least we covered our bases.
right,
I mean, that's what I try to do, is cover our bases.
make sure everybody got it.
So I'll run a copy of that out there to them. Otherwise, I don't foresee anything else going on. I've met with some Mennonites this morning about some culverts that we're gonna have to put in on some county roads and stuff because of their egg trucks and different things. We got phone numbers and stuff so I can get a hold of them when we need to close the road and work through that. But otherwise, do you got anything, Mark? Jake?
New Holland's wanting to know how many pounds you want for the front weights. If there's like a certain weight that you're wanting, kind of light. I told them just have you go by and visit with them. I didn't know if you want to add some of that stuff onto to revise it, so that way you're not getting a bunch of phone calls asking you questions on
I will
that kind of stuff.
address this with Golden Valley.
Going by.
Chad?
Yep, I'll go out there and talk to him, explain to him what we want.
Okay.
Because the warning lights, you know, I want a beacon or two.
That's
on
what he
top.
was wanting to know is how many, or he's got a tractor out there and he fits a lot of those specs, most of them. I don't know if it's the warning light's not on there and something else is
So
that you have to
I'll
work.
go out there and talk to him and make sure we get this covered.
Huh?
I'll run out there and talk to him and make sure this gets covered.
Sounds good. I just don't mind passing it along to you.
Jim, you got anything?
No, hopefully get this other deal straightened out. I'm gonna get one.
So unless you guys got something coming up, I ain't got nothing in the foreseen future coming down the pike, so I probably won't be back to another meeting until the 6th.
Okay.
So ain't no sense in me coming up here wasting you guys time blowing hot air on you.
I did just remember, I got a hold of that Bonnie,
Okay.
and she's supposed to be, Rick's gonna check, he said when he went downstairs, she's supposed to be sending him the deed for that, and I told her then once we've got that then when you get.
The township will take care of it.
Yeah.
We won't, but the township will.
Are we gonna clear out the further side?
We're gonna help the township.
Okay.
But that's the township's doings, it's not our doings. Because if we take that on as our doings, then we're opening up our can of worms to all these dead end roads. I mean, it's the township doing this, not us. We're still trying to get the road out here closed. Anyways, anything else?
Better not break
Anything
that.
else? Anything else? Miss Kelly, you got anything?
No.
Sir?
Okay, see you guys later on.
Rick said he didn't have any emails before he left, so he messaged me and said he didn't get anything yet.
She
That may
hasn't
be.
sent it yet.
That's gonna be a problem. Getting the deal. Okay. Okay.
I have a couple more bills here. The payroll that Amy had been working on, it's been a challenge this week. These are all payroll checks that she just has to send up for approvals.
Oh.
One thing I might say, one of the things there that Kelly has been instrumental in any things over the years, if we want a statue or anything, she can look it up and know exactly and have it printed out for us. She's
Thanks,
that's what we
Jim.
need. And she has, and part of Rick's knowledge has been a great
She
help.
doesn't have to look it up, she has it already.
Now, Mark. All right.
Okay, yeah.
Coffee had a bone in
Probably,
it?
yeah, I guess it had something in it, Kelly. Okay, this is.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, don't have anything. This might, since you didn't know about the other, I got 5 minutes if you want to talk.
I just have a question.
Okay.
Last week, during that last meeting, I was at, you guys voted to have the lawyer rescind what he had sent to the court. Has that been rescinded now?
You want to handle that one more?
We can't, that's, right now,
We couldn't rescind it.
Why not?
you can,
How do you put that?
probably that's still under
Well, it's closed.
closed session.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
You
but,
gotta be careful of that.
Yeah.
You're under closed session,
But-
and it has been 3 days.
Is it 3 days?
but once, I don't think it has to be, once it's been, like, the issue was closed. It's a done, like, we brought something up, it's taken care of. Now we defined, it's over with. So
That
actually,
wasn't part of it.
yeah, so you can actually bring it
Yeah.
up. But
Okay.
he, ask the question again, I got lost
So,
here.
my question is, it was voted on by the commission to rescind what the, Ivan, the lawyer, had put forward, that he had done without anyone here saying he could do that to begin with. So has that been taken back from the court? Has he rescinded?
No, he has not.
Why hasn't he done what you guys have told him to do?
You couldn't.
Why can't he? He works for you guys. You
What-
don't work for him.
What he said was that we, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm trying to remember this exactly. He basically said that the lawsuit was not against the commissioners, it was against the county, and I don't know, that, well, actually, okay, this gets into a whole nother thing. That the commissioners before, correct me if I'm wrong, had given the authority to him to handle all matters that relate to the solar. So we actually didn't have anything to do with it.
So,
And I think that's what,
That's-
that's the
that's
general
pretty-
gist of it, I
Yeah,
think,
that's,
yeah.
that's pretty well it.
okay, so something that the commissioners can't do is to give their power over to an attorney to make decisions on behalf of the county. You guys can't tell a lawyer, and especially the last commissioners, they cannot vote on something or give a lawyer permission to take the authority away from future commissioners. So, as a commission, you guys said you want it rescinded. He is the lawyer who works for you guys. He cannot make that decision on his own now. Whatever the last commissioner said, that was completely taken away the minute you guys voted to have him rescind what he put forward. So he doesn't, just because two commissioners that used to be commissioners told him, hey, we're gonna let you have the power that we normally have. We're gonna just say, make your own decisions. That cannot carry forward to new commissioners. So now you guys have already voted that you want it rescinded. He has to do that. or he has to be fired. He cannot act on his own and act as a rogue agent and take away the power from the voters here in the county who voted for you guys, not him. So explain to me how you're going to let him dictate to you how this county's gonna be run. Explain to me how he has that authority, because right now, I'm gonna put out there to everyone in this county to contact the state attorney general, because what he's doing is illegal. And you guys need to get a hold of that. Like, you guys need to be on that. You can't just sit back and say, well, the attorney told me he's in charge of everything, so I can't do nothing. Who pays his paycheck?
We've been in contact, and we're working out the situation, all three of us, and it's just kind of a process at this point.
No, it's not a process. It is very simple.
It's,
He's not in charge. Are you guys the commissioners?
He's not in charge of it, but it is a process we've
it
got
is
to
a
go through.
legal matter. And that'll be settled in court. That's
Did you
kinda what
tell, hey, I want to
This
know this,
one,
did
I'm
you
just
tell?
gonna say, I'm gonna stay out of this because
I'm not sure.
well, I know, and I get
That's the
what you're saying, Jeff.
You're-
Did you tell
Josh
him?
Hill.
Did you tell him that you guys voted to rescind that?
Here-
And he will not listen. I need to put that on
Can
record.
I,
Is that
We
true?
seek
let me
legal
ask
advice.
something for just a
You've got an
second.
attorney, because have you got all that down? Because you're gonna have to do something there to do it.
Jim,
because-
do we have, because I didn't know Rick was gonna leave early, and unfortunately, I was gonna ask you now. Do we have, if you guys did turn that power over to,
It's not a matter.
what's his name?
Ivan.
Ivan, we should have something in writing somewhere stating that we did that. And that's not gonna be a general, because Rick already sent me, the.
Contract and all of that.
Yeah, that's separate.
Yes.
That's totally separate from what this should be, because if that's the case, and we don't have anything like that, then he does not have that power.
Okay.
And I'm gonna agree with you, because I haven't thought that this, I keep saying this, I keep coming back, and everybody I talk to, I'm just gonna say it out loud, I think we're getting the runaround, is what I think. But I'm one vote, and you're not real sure, and I get it, you wanna find out.
Yeah.
But the answers that we are getting don't make sense. They don't, not to me. And I mean, I'm not the smartest person in the room here, I'm gonna tell you that. But they just do not make sense. Because like I told you the other day, what was talked about when he responded to us is not what we had talked about. That it was a totally separate issue. So, and he never did respond to that. When the whole time we were talking to him, he never responded to that. So, unfortunately, I think, and I get it, it's lawyers in general. If you ask them a question, they're gonna take you halfway around the world and bring you back and maybe give you the answer, but by the time you get there, they've lost you.
Well, the problem is that, like, for an example, when I stood here and I asked him for the contracts, I asked you guys for the contracts for the Chapter 100, he stood there and lied to me flat out, trying to make me believe I couldn't have them, using lawyer jargon. Now, it's one thing for him to do that to me, but he's doing that to you guys now. You guys are the client. He's trying, that means he has ulterior motives to get this deal done that goes beyond what the commission wants. So now you've allowed him to do something that you didn't want him to do. You still continue to allow him to do something you told him explicitly you don't want him to do, to rescind that. You can fire him today for not doing what you want him to do as your lawyer. Fire him today. Who cares if there is some paper that told him before he could have power to do whatever he wants in the name of his own interest? That's gotta stop today. You need to fire him today. He's not doing what you want. As you guys are the client, our county is the client, he has to be fired. He's working alone on his own for his own interests now. And it kind of makes you wonder, why is he working so hard for the power company, the solar power company? Why is he doing that? Why is all of his decisions in the best interest of the solar power company and not in the best interest of this county and the people who voted for you guys? Because you guys made a decision and he's not doing it. It's that simple. Fire him today. And you have grounds to fire him to get rid of whatever contract you have, because as a lawyer, he can't do that. I can't even see how he can't be disbarred for that today, for going against his clients and lying to you, or at least in best case scenario, he's deceiving you into making you guys think you have no power and that he has all the power to make these decisions. And Bradley, for real, you've got to step up. You ran for this position, and you can't make decisions.
There's no decision to make, Mike.
You haven't
It's not in front of me.
Everything I've heard from you is, I've got to.
Here's our attorney.
No, you've said, I've got to look into this. I've got to look into
And
this.
I am looking into it.
For a whole year, and you still can't come to a decision. If you can't come to a decision after a year about this entire Chapter 100 thing, like, you need to find a different job. You shouldn't have took a job that is based on making decisions.
I can make a decision. There's no decision to make yet.
Honestly, I think you've made a decision and you pretty much deceived the people who voted for you.
Deceived his soul.
Well, it's obvious that you don't want to tell us what your decision is if you made a decision.
I haven't
on
made a
Chapter
decision.
100.
I haven't made a decision.
Mike, your 5 minutes is up.
And we're
getting
somewhat getting off
getting
topic,
wrong.
because
Yeah.
it's more,
These are for any emails that's been sent to the lawyer in the last 7 days about, and then this was for, I don't know if you can take that?
Yeah, I
For
can
the
take
county
it.
clerk.
I've got it.
I don't have any,
I don't either.
but I'm gonna look right now.
I will have, I do, I mean, I've got it fair.
Are you gentlemen in contact with the Attorney General over this lawyer doing what he's doing on his own?
We've been in contact with the lawyer.
Not the lawyer.
Our lawyers who's
Our lawyer.
taking care of us right now.
Is that what you asked? Was it our lawyer?
Frivolous deal. There's
No,
a lot of
you guys
problems.
have told the lawyer you
We're
want him to
not-
rescind that document. He will not do it. Have you been in contact with the Attorney General?
I have not.
No.
And what are you doing?
Mark has.
What are you?
I don't feel like I need to call him.
Oh,
Sorry.
Did you talk to him? That's what I'm asking. You,
See, I can't hear
you
you.
have talked to the
The attorney.
I talked to the
You've
Attorney
visited
General.
him, but that's,
He actually is supposed to get back with me, it may be today, it may be tomorrow, because I had some questions, and because I can send you everything I've got, it'll explain, you'll understand what I asked, I guess, would be an easier way to put it, and why I asked it. I was not getting the answers that I asked for. I was getting answers that were, since you're gonna get them anyway, I was getting answers literally that had nothing to do with what I asked. And then I will tell you the last email that I sent him, because I sent it to him, I think Monday, because I knew we had, in that email, I told Ivan basically that I needed him to respond to me, because we were having the meeting Tuesday and I wanted to tell you guys what I had heard or what I thought. He never did respond to me. But he did say that he did not want to talk to any of us unless we were all three together in a closed meeting, which I think's wrong. I think you should be able to call him anytime you want with any question, and you should be able to talk to him. And Jim, you should be able to call him anytime you want. The three of us do not
and the
have to
problem
be together.
is, some of that was during the last closed session. When you were saying that, he said, fine, I'll have all of you together.
I never
That
did-
way
see,
we're always together.
I never heard him say that.
Anyway, that's what
I never
understood.
heard
Well,
him
that's what I
say.
understood too, but it doesn't matter there. At this point in the game, doesn't matter.
Well, actually, it does.
Well,
I mean,
I don't know what
if you're
to
gonna
tell
say
you.
something,
He's our attorney now.
and he is, for how long, I don't know.
That's,
Because
Then this
I
is-
told you, I
need
don't
to tell
want,
me,
I
would
don't
like
think
to say
he's
one
doing
thing.
this right.
If, being a commissioner, okay, we wasn't named in lawsuit. Now, if the lawsuit is brought in to the commissioners, then all three names will be on the lawsuit.
You can't sue it, you can't sue
can't
you.
sue.
You personally cannot be sued, you're a county official. They have to sue the entity, not a person.
Well, then, I'm not an attorney. If you are, Mike,
I'm not an attorney, but I
you need to bring your attorney in, and we'll get your
My-
attorney with.
Jim, my
mine.
attorney is what the statute
All of my
reads.
attorney is listen to another attorney that I know, and I can't help it. It doesn't matter if it's him or any other that has county government. And to me, there's only two there. And I don't talk to the other.
how many attorneys do you guys, I mean, you're saying for him to talk to his attorney?
We have one
Isn't it
attorney.
Ivan?
No, I don't know who his attorney is.
Isn't it Ivan?
Ivan's supposed to be our attorney. We
Okay.
talked to him.
Since he said he will
Since-
not rescind what you told him to rescind, are you guys
Since-
firing him?
No,
So you're not going to fire an attorney when he doesn't do what you ask him to do?
no, I guess not. If
Wow.
that's the case. I'm not even gonna go.
That is a fair question.
So you are
I
not
mean,
going
it
to
is.
fire an attorney when he is not doing what the commission voted on? And you're fine with that?
We've been in talks with him in the closed meetings. He's been talking us through it,
And everybody agreed.
and we've got something else we're waiting to hear back from. We're kind of waiting to see that. That's the truth.
You're not, personally, you're not concerned that he's not doing what you
I'm
told him
waiting
to
to hear
do?
back on the next thing.
From who?
Ivan.
From, so you want to hear back from Ivan before you decide to fire him?
Yeah.
Based on what Ivan says and what Ivan tells you to do?
It's not his opinion what we're waiting to hear back from. It's coming from the court.
Yes.
So it has nothing to do with Ivan
And it has
as far
nothing
as
to do
his
with that.
opinion.
We're hearing to hear back
Well-
from the court.
The court has nothing to do with the fact that
No, and
Ivan
the court
will
doesn't
not
have
do what you guys
this-
told him to.
That it's a different situation, so.
Okay, that's a different
I'm
situation.
telling you,
So we need to take care of the situation where he's not doing
We
what
are.
he's told.
We are.
But you haven't fired him.
Not ready to fire him.
Wow. He must be working on your behalf then.
okay.
So he's not, and you're not gonna fire him.
I don't know him, and I don't know enough about it, so. Next topic.
All right. That being said, there isn't nothing else on the agenda.
You got something
You know,
else you
something
want to
like-
visit about?
I think everybody has kind of lost track of what the whole issue is here, honestly. Guys, I don't. I just want to leave this statement out here so everybody understands where I'm coming from. I made it perfectly clear that I don't like Ivan. I mean, Ivan may be a great guy. You know, if I sat down and had a beer with him, he probably is a decent enough fella. Do I think he does right by the county? No, I don't. I don't think he's done right by the commission. I'm not gonna say he's got ulterior motives because I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know. He may not. But the reason that camera is sitting there is because the people that we work for thought something was going on and they wanted to find out if it was. So that camera is here and keeps everybody honest. I get the closed session meetings. I do. I understand that to a point. You know, there are guidelines that we need to follow, and even with following them, I'm not real keen on doing it unless it's, you know, like for the real estate thing side of it where I get, you know, Mike's trying to buy something and somebody else trying to buy something. We don't want everybody to know what we're paying for it. I get all that. As far as some of the you know, the personnel things, definitely, because nobody needs to know anybody else's personal stuff. I get that. With the law stuff, it gets a little touchy because we're dealing, maybe not in Ivan's viewpoint, but we're dealing with these people's money. We're dealing with things that affect them, things that they're gonna have to deal with. And I don't think those are things that should be done behind their back. Now, I get in 3 days, all this can come out and all of that, but in 3 days after this is all can come out, that didn't work real well when it came to signing that Chapter 100. Finding out about something after the fact is not the way to handle anything, because you and I and Jim, we're servants. We're not commissioners. Don't ever think we're commissioners, because Jim will tell you, and he's told me 1,000 times, we don't have any power. So if we don't have any power, the only power that we actually have is to let everybody know, which is why that camera's sitting there, of any issues that are going on. When we hire someone, and just like I showed you on that paper, I showed you my emails. The response that I got back from an attorney that we are paying that kind of money to make it sound as if that was not what we asked for, then I question, one, is he ducking? Or two, is he incompetent? Because I show it to you and I ask you, you know exactly what I'm saying. You were a truck driver. I was a painter. We understand it. I sure would think that a lawyer would understand what it was. So I think once all this settles out, I'm just going to tell everybody up front, I'm going to make a motion that we look for an attorney. I'm just telling you. You guys can vote me. Yeah, you guys can vote me down. I don't care. That's up to you. But all I know is I'm answering to everybody on my north side that's seeing this and is going, what the hell is going on? Same with you. You'll have to do the same thing.
I am.
So in saying that, you're going to want to know why you think. Not that he's done something wrong, but why you think we need to keep him. I just don't think, guys, that this is the epitome of non-transparency at its biggest form, and this is the reason you and I are sitting here. I mean, don't ever think it's not, because it is. I mean, both of us.
Fair enough.
And I'm not willing to put my name behind something, one, that I don't believe in, and two, that I think is wrong. And I firmly believe that this is, he did not, I agreed, because, and Rick, because when we talked about the minutes, approving the minutes, like I told Rick, yes, what Rick wrote in the minutes was exact, and it was. What happened may not have been exactly what the minutes said. Let's put it that way. I'm not saying Rick wrote something that didn't happen. That's not what I mean at all. You know, I can tell you something, and if I tell you half of it, it looks good. If I finish it off and tell you the rest of it, it doesn't look quite so good. And I think that's exactly what we're getting.
It's lying through omission, leaving things out.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I wouldn't even say that, but it is. I mean, my deal is, you know, I apparently when I come in here, I'm the rebel. And I really don't mean to be. All I want is I want the friggin' truth. I want to be able to walk out this door, run into somebody at Bullseye out here at Calhoun, and not have them look at me like I'm a crook. I'm not willing to do that. I will resign and walk away from this job in a heartbeat. I'll just put that out there. I will. because I am not willing, my integrity means more to me than this job, by far, by far. I took this because I did not believe, actually he was sitting there instead of here, but I did not believe either one of them had enough integrity to sit behind this desk. I get it that this is a little small downtown, Henry County, Podunk County. I get it. You know what? I love it to pieces. But the bottom line is, you're sitting back here behind this desk. You better hold this with respect. And you better respect the people that you work for. And
I agree.
I'm having some issues. I'm just telling you that I'm not seeing this is the way we've done it. And I know everybody said I got on Rick, and honestly, I did not mean to. I did not. I think Rick's one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. He really is. And I've said he's one of the sharpest people I've ever met in my life. But that didn't mean what he did was right. Just because this is the way things have been done for the last 100 years down here. God, if I had $1 for every time I've heard that, I would be a wealthy man. Jim, hang on a second. You ain't got nowhere to go. You know what? And that's another thing. You know what? We get paid a pretty good amount of money for coming in here and sitting for 2 days, 2 days out of the week. We start at 9, and man, if we can be out that door at 10:30, things are great. That's bullshit, plain and simple. I don't care if we have to sit here for 8 hours, and that's what it takes to get this done.
Okay.
This running out the door and let's get this over with. Guys, apparently they voted the wrong person in here, because that's not me. I came here to solve issues. I came here to come alongside you and both of us to get something done.
Agreed.
And that was my hopes. When we're worried about, oh, I gotta be somewhere.
Let me tell you, clarify one thing. Before you all came in, the meetings lasted till 12 o'clock. I will clarify that, Kelly. You've been the secretary, or minutes before. Is it usually 12 o'clock when we got done?
It varies, but
Right.
It's not how long they are, it's what you get accomplished.
If you're the attorney, evidently you know it all.
No, not at all. Not
I
at
can't
all.
help it. I'm gonna look for legal advice that has county business. The way I understood that papers, yes, is to the county, and it's a frivolous deal, it was a frivolous lawsuit. And if that's the case, why in the world would you want to not bring that to court so we can have a judge rule on it?
Because I would dismiss it. If you want to,
Well, guess what?
You asked me why would I? Let me
Well,
tell you
then,
why.
all right.
Let me tell you why, real quick, because I can tell you in a second. What I would do, and I'm going to tell you straight up what I would do. It would come back to us, and we would have looked at it the way it should have actually gone, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I would have done. I would have said, I'm not going to have the county, the people spend money voting or taking me to court, the county, and spend their money to fight something that they didn't want. So I would have not done a thing. I would have dropped the whole
I
lawsuit.
don't want you or Mike over there telling me that's right, because that is not the way we should be. And if Jake wants to be like that, so be it.
We shouldn't be.
That's
How?
Just all of a sudden, well, I don't like that person, I'm gonna fire him.
Oh, it's not a question if I don't
You don't
like
even
you.
know
I don't.
anything
I
about
told.
the
Did I not
cases
just say
that
I'd
you
sit
can
up
do.
here and you'd probably be a decent guy?
It's still.
It's got nothing to do with like. It's got to do
I'm talking
with the
about
way
knowledge.
things are.
I'm talking about knowledge.
You know what? Let me
right.
tell you something, Jim. I've worked
Yeah.
around people my whole life
Okay,
that had knowledge, and they were
that's not
smarter
What
than
you're talking
me.
about, isn't it?
I just told him nothing I said mattered, but that's all.
Well,
I got it off
That's what
my
I'm
chest,
trying
that's
to
all I
say.
heard.
well, but actually, just for
Doesn't
you-
matter, does it? See what I got?
I'm still trying
That's
to
what I
swallow
gotta
that.
deal with. And I wish that'd be.
We've got
the
one
case.
Which-
person
which-
here
we
doing
got
what the
two
people
people
want.
here.
We got one person who wants to do what the majority of the people in this county want to do. He feels like a rebel because every day he's up against you guys. Why is it that you guys make him feel like a rebel? Because he's working against you two all the time.
Has anybody, have you read this?
The agenda,
The agenda, you know, let me read something to you. Elected officials discussion as needed. Nobody back here is talking. This is me and the other elected officials having a discussion. So if that's over the top, then that, you're gonna have to explain that one to me. I get what you're saying, you can ask Jim, our Tuesday meeting, him and I were standing there, had already gone. I told Jim, from now on, if somebody wants to talk, they need to come right there, say their name, just like you did, and let them say, I don't care if 100 people do it, because they're getting it off their mind. What I have an issue with, and hopefully what you have an issue with, is someone sitting back there where you are and doing this. If it's that important, come to the front, state your name, because it's a whole lot harder to come at somebody when you're standing up here in front of people. As far as our bantering back and forth, that's what you guys pay us for, is the discussion.
It's fair. Would you rather them do this in private?
No, the only thing I'll say with the issue that seems to be tearing everybody apart, and again, I'm not an attorney, but I've been sued before in administrative capacity by employees, and the first thing that happens is exactly what happened, which is the court paperwork gets sent to the entity, and they review it, and then immediately that gets sent to the attorney for whatever entity it is.
But they didn't get to review it.
Well, and I understand that, but I would never say yes or no on this. It's so standard in the court system, and the Missouri Supreme Court has rules on how this filing has to work. They immediately file a motion to dismiss on the defense side. All that does is put it in front of the judge quicker, and the judge looks at it and says, do we have probable cause, that's for criminal, but do we have cause to continue this case, or is it dead in the water right where it is?
Right.
So I understand that folks are frustrated that he filed the motion to dismiss, wrong or right, but all that really is going to do is help both sides, because it puts it in front of that judge and
you
it
skipped
says,
a step.
you have
You
to.
no. You skipped it. No. What you said is right. It will get it in front of the judge faster. I 100% agree with that.
We need more of that.
And I agree. But the point of the matter is, it should have never been there. It's like everybody's skipping over that.
But we couldn't do
anything. No, we could have.
Well, you all couldn't say the lawsuit's not gonna go forward. No matter what you all do, the folks are still suing the county. So
No.
when you file a motion to dismiss or not,
You know
it's
what?
there.
That I will. You're wrong. You are wrong there.
Tell me.
Okay? So we'll play this out. If it came to Rick, and Rick would have brought it to us, okay? Now it's in our court to decide, are we going to fight this lawsuit or are we not? Let's say that we're going to fight this lawsuit. Then, yes, we give it back to Rick, say, Rick, send it to the attorney, and it proceeds the way that it is now. Okay? So that's one way. The other way is it comes to us. I look at Jake, I say, Jake, I'm not fighting the people. I'm not going to fight it. Jim says, I will. All right, great. It's 2-1. Guess what? That lawsuit, we don't fight it, they automatically win, it's over.
Well, I don't agree with that at all.
That's
And whether
Why
you're
not?
for solar or not.
Why would you not?
Because I pay a lot of taxes in this county, and so
Commissioner's
as
office,
any
Jim Size,
taxpayer,
figure.
I want my money spent wisely, and I don't know.
So would your money be spent wisely for you spending money to come after the county
I'll tell you what, right
and
now,
us fighting it? You know how long that could go on?
Yes, I do.
Well,
I also
so is that smart?
I don't know the details, and I
guess
certainly
that's
don't know
where
enough to
it's at
say we're
right
just
now.
not gonna let court, or the court of law.
Means if you don't
Look
fight
into
it, the
this.
chapter 100 agreement goes
I'll
away.
tell you what,
That's.
That means it goes
That
away.
it goes
That's the
away.
problem with this, is
We'll
we're just
probably
focused
be
on
doing
trying to
something,
disrupt this
this
process.
year,
We're
for
already
sure.
here, we can't get we can't go back.
Okay.
We cannot
Actually, you
That's
can.
why we-
See, that's the issue.
Okay.
That is the issue. Everybody is
Okay, and who
listening
is
to
this?
what this side is saying, and
Tom.
not doing the
Oh, okay,
research
Tom.
themselves to find out actually what can
All
happen.
right.
I
Okay,
can send
Tom.
you, I can send you to a website. It's Fort Gratiot or something like that. They have fought this and won hundreds of times. Hundreds of
That has
times.
to be done in court, correct?
Once that chapter 100 goes away, are you gonna wanna take a chance? If you're that company and you got a $15 million thing, are you gonna wanna take a chance of getting taxed by the state? Or are you gonna go ahead and build it? At 38%.
I don't know that it's gonna follow through anyway with the change of administration federally.
Well, let's look at it this way. They're not gonna subsidize it, but you can bet your ass they're gonna tax it.
Well,
They're gonna try, if they're gonna do, if you're against it, you're gonna tax it.
I got no skin in the game. I live in Bethlehem.
I don't either.
Nobody wants solar panels there. We don't care.
You know what? I don't have any. I don't have any. I don't care. But I don't want our county wasting, if these people wanna do this, great and good for them. I don't care how much money they make. Just let the county stay out of it. Because if the county doesn't get in it,
This
it's not
lawsuit
gonna
was
happen.
filed. I have no idea who filed it. I have no idea what the brief is on it, what the statement of facts and evidence. I have no idea, so that's where I'm coming from. But do we automatically default and let them win by not trying to defend
So-
ourselves?
You
in the county?
post
That
that
don't
on
make sense.
KDKD before you ever served the people, or the
What's that?
clerk? It was posted on KDKD radio before it ever reported, served to the clerk.
Do you know what the
They're far from
do
unbiased.
you know what the lawsuit is about?
No, I don't. That's what I say. I don't know who filed it.
It's
and I don't know
basically,
the facts.
it's, all it is saying that the county acted in bad faith. That's it.
So then
That's it.
To determine that, because that's not black and white, so to determine that, that's gonna have to go through court, is it
No, it
not?
doesn't. If they don't fight it, that means that the chapter 100 goes away.
They lose, they
And then you have to.
win it,
Basically,
And
you're
basic-
taking away something
Yes.
that Jim and
That
the
doesn't
other
mean
two
they
old
can't come
commissioners
back.
did behind everybody's
They can
back.
still come back to the commission and ask us to do the chapter 100 and we get a better deal.
That
I
I'm
mean,
opposed to.
we'll see,
But-
and that's what I've said. Guys, I've made it perfectly clear when I was running, I don't want solar, but if I'm gonna get involved as the county, you're gonna pay through the nose. And they're not. They're not. I know you said you guys negotiated, and that may very well be, Jim. I'm not gonna say you're a liar, because I don't know. But I'm gonna say that I bet you let me negotiate, and I'll bet you we get more than what they got. I guarantee it. Because that's $100,000. What are we gonna make a down payment on a grader?
It's $1,100,000.
Huh?
1,100,000 going up 2.5% every year.
So you're gonna get $1 million.
Yes, the county will be receiving it. And then it'll be back.
And
to
how much is
townships
how much
to
is
get it.
how much is Davis gonna get?
Who?
Davis Township down there. What are they gonna get? What's the school gonna get? How much?
Like 7,
Oh, they-
700
Kelly,
some thousand, 600, 600.
No, 700 something. wasn't it?
700
So
without-
you're not gonna get $1 million.
I
What you're
don't know
gonna get
that
is you're gonna
without.
get what's left over.
So that's.
And
And
then-
then the other entities.
Pardon me?
Out of that 1.1, that amount goes to Davis roughly?
Yeah.
Oh, so that doesn't come to counties?
No, but here, let me ask you this, because see,
Comes
this
down
is
and
what
divvy
I'm
out to
talking
the
about, not playing things out to the end, okay? We've already got the fly ash down there. You've got them building the solar down there. People don't wanna move down there. Do you wanna live by it?
No, I'm pretty happy on my
No,
one.
oh, yeah, okay, see? So it's not like you're gonna get an influx of people moving into there. Well, golly, there's 45 kids that go to that school down there, right? How long does it take before those kids are up and not in school? So where does that school district end up then, when there's no kids? Nobody, that's what I'm saying. I got $1 million right here in my hand. Don't look over here, because this is what the final outcome is. And nobody is looking at it down the line. They're looking at the money in hand, and that's it. And you know, the people that are landowners down there, I get it. Guys, I get it. If you can make that kind of money, I totally understand. But I'm not real sure they're looking at it further down the line. Because how many of them down there have gone bankrupt? How many solar companies right now are going bankrupt and leaving those solar things right there? I don't care if you got a $1 million, $10 million bond. They got to have some place to put them. When they pull them out, they got to have some place to take them. Doesn't matter how much money you got, if you ain't got no place to put them, they're going to sit right there. That land's over with. And if they sell it to a public entity, there's a pretty good chance you're going to lose that land to eminent domain. And I know everybody says, oh, our contract says eminent domain, you can't do it. Well, no kidding, you can't do that with a private company. But if you sell it to a public company, you can.
I guess in conclusion, everything I want to say, I don't think any of the three of you are up there with bad intentions. And I have disagreements and agreements with all three of you personally. I mean, not really, but I mean, I'm sure there's things that we all would agree and disagree on. I don't think any of the three of you are up there with bad intentions. I just think that sometimes we're pulling a little too far in one direction or the other when we really need to just try to, and I know I'm not a tree hugging hippie, but we need to just try to sit down and get along and move forward as a whole county. That's what I want to see.
I would agree with you to a point. I can negotiate, but I have a hard time negotiating with something that I am totally against. Because now we're not into negotiations. You're asking me to basically get rid of who I am. It's not going to happen. I'm just telling you, and I will tell both of you up front, it's not going to happen, not with me. If I firmly believe in something, unless you can prove me wrong with actual facts, I'm staying right where I am. Now, I get it. Like I said, that's the beauty of this being three people. If you don't agree with me and you agree with Jim, so be it. That's you know what? Suck it up and go on. If me and Jim agree with something and you don't, same thing. That's the beauty of this. But I would be very careful this going along to get along idea. That's why everything's been going on the way it's been going on.
I understand.
And that needs to come to an end, you know? I mean, I told you when we were running and everything, because we talked and it was like, you know, we're probably not going to get along with everything, and we both understood that. You know what? I'd rather have a guy be 100% against me, because then I know where you stand. I'm fine with that. Everybody's got their own beliefs. That's the way it should be. That's what made this country great. What screwed this country up is everybody going along to get along and thinking, well, we'll make it up on the next one. No, you won't. No, you won't. That's not the way it works. So, but I do appreciate what you said, because I agree with it. Jim and I talked about it yesterday. We thought it got way out of hand, and it did. It did. I mean, and I'll tell people, I mean, Jake's known me long enough now. I may get a little loud because I'm extremely passionate about whatever I do. That doesn't mean, don't ever think, because I will not do that. I will not sit in here and like yell. I'm not going to. One, I'm getting too old to mess with that. I mean, just being brutally honest, I am. And the other thing is, if people think that I'm yelling, they need to come to my office and see how I've dealt with employees, because I'm not yelling. Trust me. I'm not even mad. I might be a little frustrated, but in anything I say, I mean, Jake and I, he's come at me and I've come at him, and it's like, hey man, that's not personal, because right. It's not. It's you've got your beliefs, I've got my beliefs, Jim has his beliefs. Jim and I have argued in here, things have shut the door at him, and we sit here BS. It's got nothing to do with that. It's all about what you think and what you stand for. But I agree with you that it needs to be done, and it probably does need, and even me. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not me too. but it needs to be done in a more, I guess, respectful method. So what, I mean, like I said, what you said is right. So. I'm
Sounds
done.
good. I agree.
Are we done, Dan?
We haven't adjourned yet.
I don't have anything else.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah.
We adjourn.
I'll second it.
Motion been made, second, adjourned. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. You going down?